Great Matt Fleischer would award Ring Magazine championship belts to these all-time greats, it would be at the BWAA, although back then it was the New York Boxing Writers Association. Lots of photos, these black and white photos in the Ring Magazine archives of Fleischer awarding these belts to great fighters at the Boxing Writers get-together. So this is very special. I should point out the Boxing Writers Association of America, it's 99 years old, so next year they hit their big centennial. But this is really, I want to thank Joe Santoliquito for inviting me and allowing me to bestow this honor upon naoyainoue, the Ring Magazine 2023 Fighter of the Year Championship belt. We had this made, handcrafted by an artist named Sean Hayashi, who did just a brilliant job. It was a labor of love, and he was literally working on this all last night. Like literally, he gave it to somebody who got on a plane from Los Angeles at like 6:30 a.m. this morning and got here just a couple hours ago. So we just made it, and it's a work of art. It's heavy. We took the best elements of all of the Ring Magazine championship belts, like the Joe Louis belt, some of the belts that Oscar De La Hoya has at the Golden Boy headquarters in Los Angeles. We put them together, and we're really proud to present this to you, the monster. You earned it. You did the right thing. You went from being an undisputed bantamweight champion to undisputed junior featherweight champion within 12 months. You stepped up to a new weight class, took on the number one guy, and then took on the guy right after that. That's why you're a great fighter. That's why you were Fighter of the Year.
And good evening. I'm honored to be here to lead this hour tonight. Since I don't speak English very well, please allow me to finish the speech in Japanese. 今日この場に立たせていただくにあたり、BWA のサントリークイーン会長をはじめ、投票いただいた BWA の会員の皆様、トップランクのトップアラブ CEO、定見プロモーションの本田会長、大橋プロモーションの大橋会長に改めて感謝申し上げます。
As I stand here tonight, I would like to thank BWA President Joseph Santoliquito, all of the members who voted for me, Mr. Bob Airma top rank, Mr. Honda of Taken Promotions, and Mr. Ohashi of Ohashi Promotion.
2023年は、自分にとって、最も大きな、チャレンジの年でした。スーパーバンタム級に、上げ、いきなり、2団体統一チャンピオンの、スティーブン・フルトンとの、タイトルマッチ、そして、12月の、2団体統一王者である、マーロン・タバレス。
2023 was a year of great challenges for me. I moved up to Super Bantamweight and immediately fought the unified champion Stephen Fulton. And then in December, I fought Marlon Tapalas, who had the other 2 titles.
どちらも、簡単な試合ではなかったですが、無事に勝つことができました。そうした結果を今回、皆さんに評価していただき、すごく嬉しく、思います。
Neither one of these fights was easy for me, but I am pleased that the results were all well received by everyone.
この先の自分のキャリアも、楽しみにしていてください。今日はありがとうございました。Thank you very much.
Please look forward to more achievements from me as I go forward with my boxing career. Thank you very much.
GP, what do you think of this guy? The best monster. Nobody can take that left hand, man. Great champion. Great champion. Yes. Good work, my friend. Good work.
Welcome into Deep Waters here on Pro Box TV. Well, naoyainoue. He is a 4-division champion. Just got his Boxing Writers Association of America 2023 Fighter of the Year award. He's the undisputed champion at 122. All of that means he'll move up, right? Well, maybe he won't. We'll discuss the reasons why here on Pro Box TV. Jimmy Smith alongside Paulie Malignaggi, Chris Algieri, and ESPN boxing analyst Timothy Bradley joining us via Zoom. Gentlemen, it looks like he's going to stay, at least for his next defense, at 122 pounds. It is going to be Sam Goodman, 18-0, 8 knockouts. Okay, great. A lot of people thought with 122, packed, done, finished, that the 31-year-old would move up. Gentlemen, good idea, bad idea. Also, is he running out of time? Like we said, 31 years old, that is not a spring chicken in the lighter weight classes. If he's going to make the move, does he need to do it soon? Paulie, what's your thought?
I mean, he's gone up several weight classes already, and the expectation for these guys to keep moving up in weight is, in my opinion, sort of what causes guys to end up on PEDs and things like that. I think, there's no expectation for me to him move up in weight. I think he's shown his greatness already. If he does and when he does, it's on him. It's kind of a difficult proposition here because the sport has created this anticipation, this expectation by the fans and by the media that you got to keep moving up in weight, and it's not only not that simple. It's kind of difficult and it can be dangerous too. We saw Inoue, despite the dominance of his last fight, has already wound up on the canvas. So the punching power gets a little harder to deal with as you move up in weight and you're dealing with naturally bigger guys. Maybe he got that knockdown, he felt that knockdown, and say, you know what, maybe I've got to sort of let myself grow into this weight class fully before I move up again. There's a lot of things going on in your mind, but are you really growing at 30, 31 years old? That's another difficult proposition.
The only way, as you put it, and let's talk about
you put on weight, but you're not growing at that age.
Exactly, and the only way you do is HGH, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room. You can't move up naturally late in life. No, you can't. No, it's true, but you have to say, look, we're all from combat sports. And you know physically you can only move up safely and with muscle mass in ways that aren't natural, right? At a certain level,
well, at a certain age.
degree. Yeah, at a certain age,
you're no longer growing.
Right.
You're putting on that natural weight, that natural pounds, but it's
get
not,
a little more
it's
dense,
not good.
Right.
It's not good
I mean,
weight.
it depends. You know, we all train. There's training for a reason. You can put on good weight. You can, but I mean, is
Exactly.
it going to be functional weight? That's really the question. But also, when it comes to someone like Inoue, how much bigger do you really need to be? Because skill is skill, and he's got power, and he's got the speed.
When you say
you don't
train,
need to be the bigger guy.
But when you say train, can you put it on that fast? Can you put it on
so
that?
that was going to be my point.
This is an era where we're seeing guys do it 2-3 different weight classes. Boom,
But
they show up muscular.
Even he said that though, because remember,
of course, it's natural. It's very difficult.
Remember when he fought Nonito Donaire the first time? Mm-hmm. He was smaller than Nonito. When they fought the second time, he was bigger, and it was a couple years later he put on good
a couple
mass.
of years is a good amount of time for you to work that in.
But even Inoue himself goes, no, I'm not going to move up right away. He said, I'll follow my body. I'll listen to my body, and when it's time to move up, I'll move up. I think he's being realistic. I mean, he's done it before. It's not like this is his first rodeo. He hasn't been at 22 that long. He's still developing into that weight class, and he looks small against Neary.
Yeah, that's why I think it's not a bad idea for him to stay at the weight and see if he can.
Yeah, I don't know what the rush is to push him.
But here's the difficulty. Tim, I want to ask you, you always ask for the big mega fight, right? Most of the fighters we know got famous in the weight class they didn't necessarily start in. Roberto Duran, maybe the best example of that, great lightweight, moved up to 47 for the big fights. This idea that you got to move up in order to find that great fight, is that what we're lacking from Inoue so far?
I think that is. I was asked that question actually over the weekend. Was like, who is going to be his rivalry with? And I was like, I don't know. Is there a guy? But then I really start to really think, and I said, there is a guy. His name is Juto Nakatani. That's the guy right there. He just moved up to 118 pounds, just got a strap there. He is Japanese as well, but he's here.
Now it was old strap.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. But he's here on the west side of things. He's not in Japan, just like like Inoue is. However, I think that style matchup will be spectacular, and I think he gives Inoue.
You see what happens, Tim? That's a great point, because instead of pushing these guys to go up and wait, if they just hang around, the rivals will show up. You know what I mean? Like Nakatani and Inoue is a solid fight. It's an all Asian clash. Mm-hmm. It sells out there. If this guy's doing 55,000 in the Tokyo Dome against
Neary, a Mexican.
Dude, imagine Nakatani against Inoue. Now you're talking, bro. You made a stadium then.
It's funny. East versus West Japanese fighters, like because to your point, Tim, Nakatani has a very Western style. Like he's slick, he moves, he changes levels. Very different style.
That's the guy that knocked down Maloney Coles, right? With that big shot.
Yes. No, he can fight. He can fight and beat the hell out of
guys. Guys.
And he got
real
hit.
Quick.
The power didn't bother him.
I was just in the presence of Inoue, okay? And let me tell you what I noticed. He's a lot bigger than 5'5". I think he's taller than I am, and I'm considered 5'6". But where did Manny Pacquiao hold his weight? It was down in the legs. Yes. Yeah. So what I noticed with Inoue was that he kept pulling down his pants. You want to know why? Because his damn calves was kind of getting, his pants is getting caught up behind his leg because his calves are so damn big. So, I I think he can move up. I think it might take some time, but he definitely has.
That's a dilemma. Does he have the does he have the time? He's 31 years old. Does he have the time?
I think the age is the thing. So Tim, to your point about Manny, we caught Manny really early. We got lucky. We caught Manny at 26 when he fought Lebwaba on that undercard. We were like, wow, we got to see this guy. But he was, in a way, the fans have caught on late to him. So now he's 31. Now we're expecting him to make these jumps up in weight. It's a shame. It's a shame. I think he, like you said, he can stay where he is. He's got fighters around him.
But this is the thing, guys. It's not like he's taken a whole lot of punishment, man. No. He's been knocking out all these guys. So it's not, I mean, come on. He can move up. He has time. There's not a lot of wear and tear on him. The guy, when he was an amateur, the dude had some I don't know, like 80-something fights. He had like 50-something knockouts. You know, like the dude is remarkable, man. I'm not worried about his age, 31. I'm not worried about that. He's not going to age overnight. He's a special type of fighter. I think he has the legs. He can take his time and move up in weight, but he's cleaned out the division, the entire division already in 2 fights, guys. He's fought the 2 best guys.
Tim,
so
man,
why not move up to 146?
Father Time is undefeated, and these smaller weight classes, it's tough, man. It's not so much, his age. It's not so much because he's an old man. It's age because he's running out of time to make these moves up in weight and also put on proper physicality.
And also, I just gotta say, because everybody brings it up, and Tim, you just brought it up again, and it's something that really fascinates me and is weird to me. Guys haven't taken punishment so they can last longer. Aging, last time I checked, wasn't something that happened because you got hit. Aging, last time I checked, is just something that happens naturally. Yeah. There's professional soccer players.
You get beat up.
No. Yeah, professional soccer players, professional baseball players, professional football players. Cristiano Ronaldo had to go play in the Saudi league because at a certain age, no matter how good he was, he couldn't hack it in the Premier League or in the Primera Liga or in this area. At a certain age, regardless, and soccer players ain't taking that punishment boxers are taking. At a certain age, Lionel Messi plays in Miami and in the MLS. Now, these guys don't get hit like boxers. You're going to age. Age has nothing to do with getting hit. You age faster if you get beat up. Sure, it's good that Inoue doesn't get hit.
That's where I was going, Polly. That's where I was going.
But regardless, at a certain age, it's age. You know what I mean? And if it's not, then you got to start questioning it.
Well, let's take a quick break. We'll come back with more talk about Naoya Inoue and could he make his debut in the United States for a big fight? We'll discuss it when we come back. Look, we talked about this possible move up. Now, the other side that people can't wait for is his debut in the United States. Is it not debut? A debut as a pound-for-pound contender in the United States, a big crossover fight in the United States. How much is this a factor in his legacy? Meaning, is it important to us because we're Americans? Is he still as great as he is, selling out in Japan, making a ton of money? Do you need that crossover success in the U.S. to a lot of fans in the United States?
I mean, not to prove his greatness, maybe to make him more popular. Sure, I mean, being popular in the West is always nice when you're from the East, but. I don't know, man. I mean, he's big in Japan, right? I was always
he's rich in Japan as well.
Yeah, but it's like that Alphaville song, Right. In the 80s, when you didn't have the internet, it was like 2 different worlds, the East and the West. But if you were big in Japan, you would consider like, whoa, this guy's big out in the Far East as well, So, or you could not be famous in the West and you could just say you were big in Japan and nobody really knew if you were or not, Right? Anyway, he's big in Japan,
right.
You know what I mean? But we know him in the West.
Yes.
So. Whether he comes to the West or not, I think it's more so for popularity and branding. I don't think it makes a difference for his greatness because I think he's the one selling 55,000 seats over there. He's not going to sell 55,000 seats in the States, that's for sure. Right. So, it's are there ideas? Top Rank brought up the Dodger Stadium fight with who's the guy the Dodgers have, the Japanese guy, Ohtani. Yeah. Walk him out with Ohtani. Yeah, you know what? You can do all that, package that up, brand it really nicely. As a matter of fact. You probably can make the Nakatani fight in the Tokyo Dome, but if not, you can do it in Dodger Stadium or have Ohtani walk them both out. I don't know.
Well, the question here now, his workouts, by the way, will make you sick if you see them all the time.
If you're not in shape, you try that. You do throw up.
Yeah, Tim, the workouts, of course, make you sick. But this idea that he needs to cross over in the U.S. in order to have real popularity, what's your thought on that? Are we... workouts, of course, make you sick, but this idea that he needs to cross over in the U.S. in order to have real popularity, what's your thought on that? Are we saying that because we're Americans? As long as he's making money in Japan, stay where you're making money. What's your thought on it?
It depends. It depends on what he wants and what he's after. One of the things was when I was getting ready to fight Manny Pacquiao, was like, do you accept what's going to come with this? If you beat this guy, do you accept what's going to come with this? I mean, if he comes over to America, and he takes over America, now he can't go anywhere. I mean, it doesn't matter where he goes. I mean, he won't be able to chill with his family. But this is what I saw when I was inside the arena this weekend. I saw a large crowd around Edgar Berlanga, and I saw no one next to Inoue. No one knows who he is, guys. No one has.
But it's also the Puerto Rican Day Parade Eve, and so
it's
Puerto Rican.
But at the same time, bro, this is naoyainoue, top 3 wherever you put him, pound for pound in the game, one of the baddest men on the planet, and nobody cared to even be next to him or even crowd him or and no pictures, none of that stuff. But they was around Edgar Berlanga, man. Are you kidding me? At the end of the day, I think he should come here to America, man. He should get in this market right here. But again, it all depends on if that's what he wants. If that's what he wants out of his career, like you said, Paulie, he sells out over there in Japan.
Maybe he likes the peace. Maybe he likes the peace and quiet when he comes here. Because I guarantee you can't walk around in Japan.
Exactly.
He's a major phenom in Japan. So maybe he likes being in America. And just like a lot of famous Westerners will go east and not be recognized, I think maybe it's for a famous Easterner to not be so popular in the West can be relaxing for him. I heard he was on Fifth Avenue shopping and stuff, and he enjoyed his trip.
Chris, I got a question for you. Right? Let's go to pro wrestling. Scott Hall said it one time. He said nobody gets in this business to work their way to the middle. You don't want to be famous. I don't know. Work behind a cash register somewhere, stock shelf somewhere. You want to be in here and you want to be great, you got to be famous. And what's your thought on that and this idea that without the U.S. and without that, we talk about Roy Jones Jr. a lot, and you said Roy never had the dance partner to make people realize that rivalry. Does he need it? Does he need the U.S.?
Guys,
I know it's a tough question, but it is what it is.
I don't know about you guys. Yeah. I didn't do this to be famous. I did this to make money and be a world champion. Yeah. This guy's got that. He doesn't care. I'm telling you right now, my broadcast partner, Dan Kenobu, had a chance to interview Inoue one-on-one this weekend, and he said he's not really into the whole fame thing. He's a kind of a quiet guy. Like Tim, to your point, did not have a big entourage around him, is a chill guy, like you said, wanted to go shopping in New York City. Listen, he's putting 55,000 people in the Tokyo Dome. He's making money that's crazy. Bob Arum himself said, the money over there doesn't make sense for him to go anywhere else. He's making so much. There's so much money over there. It just makes way more sense. Which, listen, man, if you want to be rich and you want to be the man, he's already got that. If he wants to be famous, whole different thing. I don't know if he wants to be famous.
He's famous in Japan.
Famous in Japan. 100%.
Listen, why sell yourself short? He has an option to come here to the States and make even more money.
But do you want to? Does he though, Tim? Do you want to come here and fight in front of a few thousand, or you want to keep fighting in front of 50,000 over there, man?
I'll tell you another thing that I noticed. When he received this reward, he spoke in English.
Yeah.
So I mean, whether we think he's going to come here or not, he's spoken English, people. That means that he wants to learn English. That means that there's a possibility he may end up here. It's just a matter of time, guys, I think.
But listen, we mentioned Roy earlier. He didn't travel. Roy refused to go over to Europe. He stayed here. He was the man. He won all the belts. He made a ton of money. I mean, we're all talking about Roy. He's a legend. Inoue's going to be a legend as well. Like you said, Tim, he's going to do whatever he wants to do.
But Roy traveled in the end of his career. He didn't want to go to Europe, but then he went over there to Europe.
Well, when he was the man, he didn't need to. When you're the man, they come to you.
He said, "You come to me," and we'll see. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Gervonta.
Speaking of borderline egos, I met naoyainoue.
Nice.
I wouldn't say he has an ego, but the man, he moves like I'm the number 1 pound for pound fighter in the world.
Wow.
Like I told you guys all week long last week, and like I'm gonna watch him. I saw him at the fighters dinner. I'm gonna study him. I'm going to just get a feel for him because he's this guy that's almost like
Well, you know
folklore.
what? He is the number one short king in the world.
Yes.
Yes,
I'm a short king myself. He probably is. If you go worldwide,
number one short king in the world. No doubt about it.
I'm at the boxing writers dinner, got a quick selfie with him. He accepted his award. He was very gracious, but he also had a massive team with him. He kept leaving the dinner to like go into some side room. I don't think he really likes attention, which is, I understand.
I can see that.
I don't think he likes all the hoopla because literally everyone was there to see him. And then I saw him again Saturday night, which I just love these New York City fight cards because they're fun, number one, with Top Rank. And then Inoue comes in to do his interview with Kriegel. And this is when he had a real aura about him. This is like he walks in, gets on the set, I shake his hand, size him up once again. Just the guy's the man. But Inoue is so cool. It was great to have him in New York City. It was good to see him do interviews. It was just like cool to see him because I feel like I said, like he's just like this folklore at this point. Doesn't do a lot of interviews. Don't really see him a lot here in the States. Doesn't fight here in the States. So whenever he speaks, you almost kind of have to stop and listen to what he's going to say.
Yeah, it's listen, he is a superstar over where he's from. And him coming over here is a big deal, obviously. And I guess it seems like Top Rank is trying to match up the Bruce Carrington and Inoue fight.
I talked to a few people at Top Rank, and they were like, I was like, is Bruce going to call him out after? He didn't call him out. He like bowed.
Yeah, that's all he did, the bow thing.
It was a cool little moment, but a couple of guys that I was talking to at Top Rank were like, well, yeah, we would like eventually. Like, there's nothing wrong with like a really slow marination, but Inoue's not leaving 122 anytime soon. And also, I don't think Carrington's ready for that. Even Top Rank guys were like pouring a little bit of cold water on that.
Yeah, no shit. the kid has 12 fights, 13 fights. What are we doing? It's just interesting to have him come out, this weekend at Puerto Rican Day Parade. It's, I guess, maybe because of the writers' dinner. I don't know.
Yeah, he was getting the award.
Okay, so that's it. So all right. So it's more circumstance than anything, but interesting to have him over here. And like I said, he has a massive. He's like a rock star in Japan. Japan's a pretty small place, and for him to put 55,000 in Tokyo Dome, for him to be the megastar that he is, getting everyone over there, and then to come here, of course he's going to carry that aura with him. He is the man. Yeah. He lives in he's Godzilla. Like he's like not to get like all. Not to get racist on him, but it's like, yeah, you are Godzilla. You are the monster from the island of the East, and now you're here. You're going to carry that air with you.
Yeah, he did, and the Top Rank guys that were there, I was asking them, will he ever fight here in MSG? Will he fight in Vegas again? And they're like, there's no real rush. I mean, he's putting 50,000 on a Tuesday, 50,000 on a Monday.
I did that in an interview, and they're like, on one of our shows on Pro Box, they were like, oh, anyway, has to come here to be. And like, I think Sean Porter said that. I was like, no, he doesn't.
Yeah, he got in trouble for that.
No, he doesn't. He brings 55,000 people into his home. It doesn't matter. 55,000. We're not doing that here. Nobody's doing that here. He does it there. We need to go to him. He's the man.
Exactly.
Simple as that.
I did some. It was a busy weekend. I did some ESPN documentary that's going to come out later this summer. And there's a whole episode on Inoue, and they were just peppering me with questions on him. And one of the questions was, will he ever fight in this? Does he have to? I'm like, no, he does. He's like Canelo Alvarez of Japan. Like, he's a cash cow. Like, there's only a few cash cows, and he's one of them. So, like, I don't hear.
I'm gonna give you some pushback. He's not Canelo Alvarez of Japan. He's Inoue of the world.
Yeah,
like he's a bad man. Like he's
right.
Yeah, how many division world champion, undisputed, over and over. 55,000 is a big deal. That's like those are numbers. Those are numbers that are really hard to touch. Yes, Canelo did it in Dallas. He did like 70 something like that, or I think it was 74. But whatever. When you
that was like more of a one-time event, though.
Right. this guy's going to be able to do this over and over again. Like, we're dying to go out there. I hope he stays in Japan so we have a reason to go out there.
I think he will. And, just to stop the Inoue praise here on the show, I don't think he has to fight anywhere outside of there. And I don't see Stephen Fulton. I don't see Louis Neary complaining about having to go over there and make their career high paydays. So that was the weekend.
Look, we're all from
Eat a little
combat
bit
sports,
more.
and physically you can only move up safely and with muscle mass in ways that aren't natural, right? To at a certain level,
Well, at a
to
certain age.
degree. Yeah, at a certain age,
you're
yeah.
no longer growing.
Right.
You're putting on that natural weight, that natural pounds, but it's
get a
not,
little more
it's not,
dense,
it's not
yeah.
good.
Right.
It's not good
I mean,
weight.
it depends. You know, we all train. There's training for a reason. You can put on good weight. You can, but I mean, is it going to be functional weight? That's really the question. But also,
I'm not worried about his age, 31. I'm not worried about that. He's not going to age overnight. He's a special type of fighter. I think he has the legs. He can take his time and move up in weight, but he's cleaned out the division, the entire division already in 2 fights, guys. He's fought the 2 best guys. Why not move up to 146?
Father Time is undefeated, and these smaller weight classes, it's tough, man. It's not so much, his age. It's not so much because he's an old man. It's age because he's running out of time to make these moves up in weight and also put on proper physicality.
And also,
これはですね、筋肉の効果を招きづらい、むしろ弾力性のある柔らかい筋肉を作れるマシンなんですよね。それは動作中に酸素供給がうまくいったり、乳酸を発生させないような動きができるマシン。 じゃあ柔らかくてしなやかな体を作れる。もうこういう感じで動かすんですけど、そんな動き日常生活でしないですもんね。絶対ないですから。大リーガーという
実は初動負荷という、ネーミングがそうなんですけれど、動作の最初に負荷をかけるのではなく、動作の最初って緊張しやすいものなんですね。
力でってやるから
重力が加わっていますし、例えば地面を蹴るとかという動作の時ってふくらはぎとか足が緊張します、でこの緊張が脳とのバランスを崩しちゃうので、動作の最初にいかに筋肉を緩めるか、リラックスさせるかというのがトレーニングなんです。
でも重りは
初公開かもしれないです。
重りをつけてらっしゃるんで、ある程度の力はいるじゃないですか。そこには筋肉の緊張っていうのはいるんじゃないですか。
緊張なく重りがなければ筋肉の伸び縮みが始まりませんので、その重りを使うことによって最初に筋肉を緩める、緩んだ状態で筋肉が伸び縮みしてくれると、脳が先行指令してこういうふうに動きなさいという指令を出すということを研究してきたんですね。それをやることによって
リラックスした状況で早く動けるっていう。
そうなんです。
じゃあ
そこには
イチロー選手はじゃあ決して重いものをこう持ってトレーニングされてるわけじゃないんですね。
全くそうじゃございません。できるだけリラックスした状態でいわゆる立体的な動作、ですから実際のフィールドでの動作に近いことを徹底的に繰り返してきたんですね。
で中山さん、隣にいますか、筋肉バカが。
同じ T シャツ着て
どうなるんですか。僕も肉体改造やって結構重たいものを持ちましたけど、中山さんもかなり
宮根さん普通こういうので
引っ張るよね、
ぐーって下げますよね、バーをね。大体僕ジムでやるときは70キロぐらいでやりますけど、今負荷が10キロっていう状況で、ここから始まらないんですよね、先生。
そうなんです。
スタートがここじゃない。
スタートがここじゃなくて
下からなんだ。
そうなんですね。
人間の腕って下がっていますので、持ち上げてほしいんですよね。
これで
リラックスするためには。
そこから
この状態でリラックスした状態から、ここからですね。大丈夫です。スーッと上げてくれるんですよ、重りが。上がったところから今度下げてくる。でしかもこれが可動式なので、可動域を広げながらあまり負荷を感じずに運動を続けることができる。
普通に喋れてるもんね。
そうか、全然そうなんですよ。ただだいぶですね、背中の広い範囲に効果が来てるなという感じがするんですよ。
小山さんね、
もっと
広いはず。
小山さんにお聞きしたいんですけども、我々時々運動するんですけども、やっぱりこの画一的な運動になっていくんですが、今まで自分が動かしたことのない筋肉だったり可動域を広げることによって脳は活性化していくんですか。
脳はかなり活性化していきます。それで今中山さんがトレーニングしてくださってるマシンは、下半身はこうして止まってるんですけれど、実は肩を動かすことでバランスを取るために下半身の筋肉とかお尻の筋肉がもうどんどん動いてるんですね。それが立ち上がった時
こういうふうにおっしゃってるんですけど、要は例えば立ったり座ったりもそうですけど、予備動作というか意識しないで筋肉って実は動いてるわけじゃないですか。それが全く意識してないですよ、僕は。ここで下半身鍛えてる意識がないんですけど、そうらしいんですよね。
中山さん見てたら、 なんか気持ちよさそうに見えるけど、気持ちいいの？
割と動きがね気持ちいいんですよ。
宮根さん、実はですね、人間のこの体の中の特に今足の筋肉がリラックスしていれば、そのバットを構えて振るとか走り出すというその手前に脳が本来活動するべき筋肉に指令を与えて先に先行活動をさせているんです。でこの能力の差というのがやっぱり運動能力の差となってきまして、でそれが今度脳に返ってきますから、ですからうまく続けますとどんどんこの脳と神経と筋肉の連携が良くなると。
それもリラックス。
スタートしました。中国の首位好スタート。さあここから伊藤が伸びてくる。首位を捉えた。完全に捉えました。ぐーっと伸びてきました。伊藤浩二最後余裕を持ってゴールに9秒99。アジアで初めて10秒の壁を破りました。
イチロー君なんかね、ワールドウィングのね、こう体を、初動負荷理論で、体をこう柔らかくする、あれもあれでいいんだけども、
いいですよ。
フィジカルはあんまり大きくならないよね。
なんないです。あれはなんないです。大きく。
なんないよね。
イチローさんはイチローさんで、もうあの人はもう、極めすぎてるから、あれなんだけど。
comes to someone like Inoue, how much bigger do you really need to be? Because skill is skill, and he's got power, and he's got the speed.
And I was gonna ask you that. I was gonna say, who's the best? Pernell, fucking Floyd. Who's the best? Be honest in your heart.
Pernell, he's trickier.
He's just a trip.
The gold medalist too.
Pernell, man, was a slippery motherfucker.
He is so weird, right? He is so weird.
Yeah.
Oh man.
He give you his back cut. He like look at you, give you his back.
Oh man. Hey, at one time I was a big welterweight, right? And so Pernell, at one point I was like, and he was looking at me like, fuck you. And I missed every punch. He was a son of a bitch. He was good.
I was looking at Manny, and the guy is like to my chin almost, maybe a little bit taller than my chin. I'm like, there's no way that this guy can beat me. No way. So I get into the ring with Manny Pacquiao. It's not like he's hard to hit. Like he's not easy to hit, but he's not hard to hit. When I want to, I can throw a little jab or a right hand and touch him. So I said, okay, now we're in the second round, I believe. All right, now I'm gonna, hit him with right hand, see how he reacts to the right hand. Set it up, line him up. I get ready to throw it, and I see him like this is a bounce, boom, boom. It does a little 1-2. I fall down. I'm like, wow, that didn't seem that hard. Why did I go down? How did I go down like that? I get back up and I'm dizzy. I'm like, whoa, I'm still dizzy. Like I'd never been hit.